talking about. That's why he's MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT. Welcome everyone to Sea Monster Live number 52. I like to believe that is the number. In case you can tell, I am no longer sponsored by Amazon. I have too many people spying on my Amazon cards. Oh, hello, Antonio. Yeah, hello, Antonio. Hello, Alice. And hello, person number 3, whoever you are. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, no longer, hey, Minecraft World. Awesome. See you in a bit. Yeah, I'm no longer sponsored by Amazon. Had too many people spying on my Amazon cards, just as Ice Cube warned me. But yeah, yep, yeah. So we're gonna be talking about a little film called Mimic, released in 1997, directed by Guillermo del Toro. But just waiting for people to come on. Ultimately, whoever wants to come, whoever can come on, wants to come on, who's seen the movie or just want to chat about, and listen in, front row and center, about the movie, whether or not it's worth the time. And we got our first guest. We got the camera and Nemesis and himself, Minecraft World. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. If you're hearing an echo on my end, I'm outside of the lobby. My roommate's currently asleep, so I don't want to disturb him.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Doing well. As for myself, yeah.
Yeah, I have started to continue the grind on my Nemesis essay. And I'm considering picking up the audiobooks for the books themselves, just so I can use those for notes.
Yeah, that's good. It's I imagine it'll be really
a little easier.
Yeah, what I was about to say, it will result in a video with a lot to say about it, about the work in general.
Yeah, no, I have drafted the first section. I'm going to see if I could write the rest and then see if anyone is willing to critique it. Because I'm not confident on where I'm starting at, but on where I'm at so far, but we shall see.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if anyone were to, I guess because I'm not really too familiar with Nemesis as far as the work necessarily.
The character, the works, whatever it may be. I get that.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, maybe some notes about if I were to have any sort of critiques,
yeah,
if I was offered to some critique it, probably the best I would have done it would be
I know a few people.
Structure.
I know a few people who I'd like specifically to critique it who are familiar with the works.
Right.
So, yeah, Zid being one of them.
Yeah, as well as also how to in terms of structuring the script and ultimately
just figuring it out.
Yeah. But so as you can tell, I'm not sponsored by Amazon, Minecraft World. Not anymore.
Nope.
But I have watched Andor, both seasons of Andor.
Nice.
Really great show. Highly recommend it.
Nice.
Pretty much one of the best things to come out of Star Wars.
Yeah.
In general, it's along with Rogue One, it's pretty much the best thing that Disney has put out for Star Wars. It's probably it and Rogue One are probably the only good things that they've done with Star Wars. And which is fine ultimately. I mean, it's kind of a shame that we only got 2 good projects out of out of Disney when it comes to the Star Wars IP. Out of however many that they've done over the past decade,
I
that's
I don't know how controversial this take would be, but Rogue One is my favorite piece of Star Wars media, period.
hmm, yeah,
Like, I absolutely love Rogue One. Is it flawed? Yes. Is it as well, people don't necessarily say it's bad, but still, it's a film that I absolutely adore.
yeah, yeah. That's and I can definitely say, yeah, like if you pretty much love Rogue One, Andor really adds to it, pretty much in a
Yeah,
lot
that
in retrospect,
yeah.
in
I might
really
I
meaningful
might give it a
ways.
shot. I really don't have much interest in Star Wars in general, but like Andor might be the exception.
Yeah, it pretty much would be the exception in this case, especially if you're a fan of Rogue One.
I'm
So
curious to see how that Starfighter movie that's coming out is gonna turn out because that has, I think, the same cinematographer as Top Gun Maverick, and I think it's
hmm,
directed by the same guy who did. Yeah, it's directed by the same guy who did Free Guy, Deadpool and Wolverine, and the um, Night at the Museum trilogy.
huh?
Which I liked
Uh,
Free Guy. I loved Deadpool and Wolverine, and I very much enjoyed the Night at the Museum films. Like those are some of the most nostalgic ones for me.
hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of that. Like, considering that they have like considering like everything that I keep hearing about, like, oh, Disney working on a Star Wars movie and this and that and the other. It's just only for none of that
Yeah,
news to
the
really follow
question.
up.
Yeah, that's the question. Because even if I liked his works, how much creative control are we going to be having here?
Well,
How
and the bigger
much?
question is it even gonna still will it even happen at this point? Assuming whatever that Mandalorian and Grogu movie that they're trying to make, like
Mhm.
if that one crashes and burns, then what does that mean for Sean
Yeah,
Levi's film?
yeah. I yeah, that's the first hurdle we're going to have to get through. Is it going to keep happening, or will anything have to be changed?
Yeah.
Will they pull a Rise of Skywalker again?
They would just pull Rise of Skywalker, except it would just be right out the gate with, trying to go back to doing movies.
Yeah.
Like it'd be like if Rise of Skywalker was the first movie of the sequel trilogy as opposed to Force Awakens.
Oh
I mean,
god.
Force Awakens was already not that great, but
Force
it pretty
Awakens was the best of the sequel trilogy, and that says a lot about its quality.
um well it well it well do you mean like it doesn't say that much about its quality? Um
No, that says a lot about the sequel trilogy's quality overall. The fact that Force Awakens was the best one.
yeah, and it's like yeah, and that's a pretty low, like the bar's like super like pretty low
Yeah,
actually.
no, this is. Jesus.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know who else is coming on here.
Yeah, I know
Uh,
Vic's supposed to be showing up at some point. I
um,
don't know
he
about anyone else.
he kind of DM'd me. I think he said like he probably may not make it,
Oh,
uh,
damn.
which is a shame. I mean, well, he pretty much won't be able to come on stage. But like he probably may be around to at least well, at least listen in.
Yeah.
Which is a shame too, because like apparently he knew the guy that, or is acquainted with the guy, like someone who worked on.
With I think it's a costume designer or something like that.
Yeah,
It's one of the technical crews who worked on Mimic. Yeah.
right.
Actually, before we start the discussion itself, I finished my Del Toro movie watch through
Oh, nice.
earlier this week on Wednesday. God, what a blast! God, this is so much fun.
Cool, nice. Up and well, we got another person here. We got Hoshi
Oh,
0071.
hello.
Hey guys, how are you all doing?
Good,
I'm
pretty good.
fine.
Hey guys, have you guys seen the movie I watched in theaters?
What
What
movie?
I showed it to all of you on movies and TV.
what movie was it?
Uh,
Demon Slayer or Kimetsu no Yaiba: The Infinity Castle, Part 1.
Oh,
um,
I have no interest in Demon Slayer.
no, I've not seen it either. My sister has. She's way more into it than I am, pretty much. So not really that interested.
I was saying this because I kind of wanted this to say this to Lau or Vic because I feel like they would be more interested in those types of things.
Mm.
Hmm. Maybe. Yeah.
But but other than that, yeah, I'm really liked the movie. I thought it was really amazing. I thought that the action scenes slash animation was really well done. The only thing my gripe I have with it is that it's a little bit too long and that the fights, or at least some backstories, can drag on a bit too much. But other than that, it's a really solid movie, and I cannot wait for part two, which sadly it's going to be coming out in 2027, which is the exact same year that Sonic 4 and Godzilla Song Supernova is going to launch.
Well, I mean,
I
like it wouldn't necessarily get like having that be released in the same year as that. That doesn't. That just means that it's not really an unfortunate thing or a fortunate thing. It's just kind. Of,
No,
it just
the
is.
unfortunate part is that I had to wait this long to get to part two.
Ah,
mm,
gotcha.
But hey, Chainsaw Man Resi arc, the movie is gonna come out. So yeah,
All right. But anyways, let's talk about a movie about some big bugs. Um,
yeah.
um,
Oh boy.
yeah,
So let's make one thing crystal clear, and I would like to preface this before we get into the Del Toro discussion that I'm going to be doing in October.
yeah.
Mimic is the weakest of his work, and Mimic is the weakest of his work, and it still has a lot of really good qualities.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah,
decent.
yeah. I mean, the best way I could describe it is it good. And
It's
I wouldn't really go
it's
any further than that.
it's like this is a film. This movie, notoriously, Del Toro did not have much creative control over.
yep.
So a lot of the film's faults I can't really attribute to him, or at least I
It,
don't know if that was because of his lack of creative control or if that was a decision in his own right. Um,
which is why
but
he
in
decided
compare,
to make a director's cut.
and even then, the director's cut is not perfect. There's still signs of like it wasn't his exact vision. He had to work
Right.
within the confines of what he had before.
Well, I
And
mean, yeah. I'll let you finish.
but like
Right.
but yeah, no, it absolutely shows. This being the weakest of his work is absolutely astounding when you compare it to everything else that he did.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and even then, like as far as like a creative, like a director not being allowed to have the creative vision, like it's not always like guaranteed to be like, oh, if you let a director like have their creative vision, it's not always going to be guaranteed like a home run. It's kind of a case by
Oh
case.
yeah, no, we know what his original concept for Pacific Rim 2 was.
Oh god, which is could be
Look,
just as
Del
bad, if not worse, than what we
Look,
actually got.
Del Toro, all due respect, what the hell is this? I love you, dude. I absolutely love you, dude. But what? What?
All I can say is I sure as hell hope nobody out there is like clamoring for that version of Pacific Rim 2 over what we
Granted,
got.
granted, he wasn't
I do.
really interested in Pacific Rim 2. He wasn't really interested in doing a Pacific Rim 2 as well. So
So he was just kind of humoring it. Oh, and we got
yeah.
another person here. The Animus
Hi.
Fantastic. See? There he is.
Oh
Oh,
wait.
oh, he's gone. Up. Hold on, we'll give him a minute. Yeah, no, I mean, I could probably tell he's at least seen the movie because like he hit his tag on the name thing has like the reference to the film. So
Hmm.
Mr. Funny Shoes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah. I mean, what the best way I could describe the film is that it pretty much seemed like one of those films where since it was like one of his earlier works, it's at least working in the Hollywood system. Um, it pretty much seemed like it didn't have like as much refinement. Like it wasn't like as refined in it as he would end up becoming in later works. Pretty much like his Hellboy films or Pacific Rim or The Shape
Yeah,
of
no.
Water. But it's like a good start.
This has a lot of the same attributes that he would improve on
Yeah,
with, especially like it when I was watching the first Hellboy, I kept comparing it to Mimic, and it in a good way. Hellboy improved on a lot of what this film was doing
yeah.
several times over. Same with Blade.
Yeah. Let's just say, like, if it was released, if Mimic was like released today, ultimately, by Del Toro, it would be one of those films where it's like it's not perfect. There's definitely some things we could look into in terms of like what could have been improved. But I would love to see what this guy does going forward because I think he has some pretty cool, like he could do something really cool down the line if just
Cool
sort of like behind his
concepts.
crap. All right, now.
He has a lot of cool ideas.
Yeah, let's get him back out of here. All right, Mr. Funny Shoes.
Hello?
Mr. Funny Shoes, Mr. Funny Shoes, why did you hide away for so long? So long, where did we
Hey.
go wrong? Do. Hello.
Hey,
Hi.
Hey,
Hey, dude. Been a bit.
how you doing?
Yes, it has been a bit because somebody kept streaming on Fridays.
Hey, hey, Scamus, before we begin, is it okay if I ask you something?
Uh, sure.
I know you didn't have that much time, but I was wondering if you listened to some couple of songs I sent to you.
Honestly, I've had no time. My every single time I think I've got time, I do not have time. Today was supposed to be time for me, and then I
oh,
ended up spending it running around the houses, quite literally. Um,
Good
but
lord.
yes,
ooh,
yeah,
But
literally, it's just yeah, it's been manic. I'm supposed to be writing a video for flipping Superman. I think I've
oh,
got like the first paragraph done, and I think
hey,
that's about it.
see,
I Jesus Christ, I've got no time. Yeah, so sorry.
hey,
Yeah, no, I haven't
CMS,
got around to it yet.
CMS, is it okay if I tell you what movie I watched?
Yeah.
Sure.
I watched the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Arc Part 2 in cinemas.
Say again.
I watched the Demon Slayer The Infinity Castle Part 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are
Now
you
go
at
watch
least
K-pop
Uh,
Demon Hunters.
No, I was just gonna say, are you at least familiar with Demon Slayer?
I am familiar with it, yes.
No, I was talking
I'm
to C
not.
Animus. Oh,
Uh,
okay. Well, that
yeah,
sucks.
yeah,
If it's
yeah.
anime, just assume no.
Hmm, yeah.
Anyway, so you've
I
seen
did hear
Mimic
that.
Animus. Yeah.
Yes, I watched it this week. I watched it probably when it came out, and then it's been a few years, so I rewatched it. It's one you can see like um you see Del Toro films now, and they have a feel to them, don't they? It's like the
Yeah.
Hellboy films, like the um can't remember the name of the flipping what's the Aquaman. I was going to say Aquaman. It's not Aquaman.
Shape of Water. Shape of
Thank you.
Water.
Shape of Water.
Yeah.
All those films have a feel to them. It's almost a very tangible feel. It's almost like everything's like a model, like you can like pick up out of the screen. This film has that proto Del Toro feel to it. You can
Yeah.
see like, where it's going to evolve into that. And for most of the film, I quite liked it, even though there's a couple of bits. It's just like I don't think that would work like that, but I quite liked it. The ending's a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I think somebody said here that if the film was released nowadays, is like if this film was released nowadays, it would be so much better. It will be one of those films. It's like, hey, do you know all those big budget films that nobody likes? Let's look at this other film that's actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, this feels like a successor to like the B movie monster flick or like the B movie creature feature.
Yeah, it has all the elements, doesn't it? Like, here's a normal thing, and then here's the normal thing turned into something freaky. It's
Yeah,
it's the real world plus something weird.
yeah,
That's always a good recipe
considering,
for.
yeah, which considering Del Toro's history with like monsters and how he feels about them, as well as just his approach to them, I think it works perfectly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, something I want to get to when we get to like the Del Toro discussion when we get to like on October 9th. Um, that's gonna be like Del Toro has a very specific approach to monsters by giving them human attributes and seeing whether or not that is a good thing or a bad thing. Should we feel sympathy for the monster because it has human traits?
Yeah.
one I will always remember is Hellboy 2.
Yes.
Hellboy's fighting the giant plant monster, and
Yeah.
then it's like just before the end of the fight, the bad guy turns up and says, "Do you know this thing is like this is basically that's so rare. These are like this is probably the last one of its kind. You know, they're incredibly rare. There's all these harsh things and blah blah blah." And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, you're making me feel bad about having to defeat this thing, aren't you?
Yeah. Hell, the first Hellboy does this. Does the same. Does a very similar thing. Same with Blade. Like Blade 2. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
But
Blade 2. Uh,
Hey, CMS, have you watched the movie Labyrinth by Guillermo del Toro?
which one?
Which
Sorry.
Labyrinth.
Oh,
Pan's
Pan's
Labyrinth?
Labyrinth.
Yes.
Yes, I think it's on my shelf somewhere. I have watched it. That's
Okay.
I'd have to rewatch that one because there's lots of bits I don't remember. But yeah, that was an interesting one.
Yeah.
Is that like one of the first movies that Guillermo del Toro made?
No, he was well into his career by that point.
I was gonna say that has the Del Toro feel to it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um,
yeah.
yeah, no. Like this guy knows exactly what he's doing when it comes to monsters. And I think that really comes to display here, even if he wasn't given much control with the story itself.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's like you kind of see like sort of hints of that where you got like this insect that kind of has like some weird like has a weird humanoid type thing going on, but it's it's actually just part of like a facade ultimately. And even then, like the
Yeah.
human face mimicry, like if you pretty much notice, like a lot of Del Toro's like designs is just kind of like either a creature with no eyes or eyes in places other than where eyes would ought to be. Where you would expect
Yeah.
them to be.
And when
Um,
they are, they are where they would be expected. It's with some sort of twist. Like with the Pacific Rim kaiju, it's they have more than one eyes in that general place.
yeah,
It's like a spider or an insect.
yeah, it definitely has like this thing going on, with eyes essentially. With oddly enough, like the Shape of Water probably being like the most like one of his the more normal like creature designs for a Del Toro type of movie, pretty much. Because like
Mhm.
it's like, well, the eyes are where I would expect them to be on this humanoid fish
Yeah.
creature.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Heck, even Pinocchio has this trait. Pinocchio himself doesn't even have proper eyes. It's like empty spaces that function in a similar way.
yeah. But yeah, I guess
God,
we could probably
Pinocchio.
get into the nitty gritty of
Hey,
Mimic.
guys,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be leaving now.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But before we go,
Okay.
hey, CNMS, hey, look, man. I know this might be dumb of me to say this, but I'm kind of sorry that I had to constantly tell you or remind you of the songs I made you. It's just that I'm deeply waiting for your GXK video, so I kind of want you to at least know that I remind you, so you don't have to please forget about it.
Yeah, no worries. Feel free to remind me. Just don't expect anything anytime soon. Seriously, I am I'm really worried that my YouTubing days are going to start running down. I mean, I better
Uh,
release anything, but yes, don't worry about it, mate. Feel free to remind me.
Hey, CNMS, this might be a dumb thing of me to ask you, but are you going to be watching the new Chainsaw Man movie?
No. It's a simple, straightforward answer to that. No, the Chainsaw Man thing has completely passed me by.
Huh, well, that sucks. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and don't
Yeah.
expect me to come back to talk to you guys about Scenarios Beta, because it's not my thing, but I think my sister will be talking to you guys about it.
All right.
Okay. Take care, dude.
All right. Take care, man. Oh, and yeah. All right. So now let's All right. I guess we could just get this started. Where do you guys elect we should begin with this?
I mean, for my discussions, I generally tend to like talk about the technical stuff first before we get into the story, because like the story is kind of where the films tend to shine, but the technical stuff is. So I guess we could talk about like the atmosphere and how the world looks and all that, because we
Yeah.
already started with the creature design.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Might as well.
and I think one thing that Del Toro generally does right is like his world building and atmosphere, and I think Mimic definitely comes across as a prototype of that. Um, like
Yeah.
he, one thing that I noticed in a lot of his works, he usually relies on one primary color or at most two or three to for his world. Mimic has that. It's a very blue tinted film, like very heavily blue.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of. Yeah. That's a thing to really
Blue?
notice about that.
Yeah, it's a dark
I would have
blue.
said yellow.
I There are yellow sequences in there. I think those are for like very specific scenes.
Hmm.
Maybe
Like
yellow stood out more because, yeah, maybe the blue was just all background thing and the yellow stood out more because of that, maybe. I don't know.
yeah, I
But I
think when
do
it's
remember the.
because like yellow to me, it kind of in the film I get it like assigned for the bugs, whereas the blue is everything else. So like when the characters are trying to defeat the bugs, the blue seeps in, especially that comes in, especially once they kill the matriarch.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it's like that, like when they kill the king, because that's kind of like is that's what they said it was.
Yeah, the male. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because like they even yeah, because they even like sort of set that up essentially earlier on, or at least
Hmm.
foreshadow it, where they just mentioned like, yeah, you got the queen, but you also got the king, of the ants.
Hmm.
Like
I
you
think
know,
they're
like
meant to
when
be
you,
like I think they're meant to be mutated mosquitoes or something.
hmm,
I know they're
It
not roaches.
was
They're
praying
meant to mimic.
mantises and termites.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, no, it's not roaches. So that I think, yeah, I think that's it.
They look like roaches, but
Yeah,
they're supposed to be
that's the point.
mermite?
Termite,
Termites.
termites.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
yeah. I mean,
They're
they kill
marmite
one.
insects. You either
Yeah, I
hate
mean,
them or
like
you love them.
yeah, I mean, like they were intended to kill a bunch of roaches, at the start of the film, because roaches were killing
Yeah.
people, children
Yeah.
especially. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like when I first thought about how they just mixed like a praying mantis with a termite to make the Judas breed, which is what the bugs of the antagonistic bugs in the film are.
Oh, Judas! Oh, I
Judas.
literally just got that. Oh my god.
Well, we'll get to there.
Really?
Yeah.
I literally realized the biblical reference with the whole bugs and
Well, it kind of makes sense when you think about it, because like the building that they were in, like you got the Judas breed hanging out like underneath this building, and like we're in that church, and there's like a decapitated like Jesus statue there. So
yeah. Oh my god. No, but like the betrayal of humanity, the fact that the bugs were made to protect and they followed human orders until they didn't and then started mimicking them. Oh,
yeah,
the lies. Oh my god.
yo,
I didn't even get that.
oh man, yeah, it's actually kind of interesting, sort of metaphor there.
Yeah,
But
no, I literally just got that.
yeah.
Oh my god.
What I was about to say is like as I was like watching the film and I heard and they mentioned like how they took the termite and praying mantis and like mixed them together to create this breed of bug. I pretty much it kind of like made me think like it sort of made me think of like how like the Dominus Rex was made in Jurassic World where it's like it's a hybrid. Oh, it's like a hybrid bug. Except except it's supposed to actually be used for like kind of like
Hilariously, it's under very similar circumstances to the locusts in Dominion.
oh no.
God.
Actually, well, kind of the opposite circumstances, actually.
Did Mimic inspire Jurassic World?
Honestly, I believe it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Someone make that video.
Yeah, if someone could make that video be like, or even ask Del Toro, like, hey, or actually maybe not even ask Del Toro, maybe like ask like one of the people who made Jurassic World and just be like, were you inspired by Mimic when you came up with this plot point?
By perchance.
It's like, what's that? Yeah, but I definitely really like the atmosphere of the film. It's really well done. Like there's like this foreboding, if you will, of like these bugs that are just kind of like hiding in plain sight for essentially they're
I like
out
the bit,
there, you just don't know
the
where.
bit right at the beginning when the ginger girl is taking her bike, and you know that the bug is around somewhere, and then she walks around a corner, bumps into it, and goes, "Oh, sorry," and then just walks around him. It's like, yeah, I could believe that because it's dark. The face vaguely looks like a face, and it's like she's obviously not going to be paying
Yeah.
attention that much. And there is they've done tests in big cities of like you put something like quite obvious somewhere, and people will walk straight past it, not really give it a second look.
Yeah, so like if something obvious would not be able to be viewed and to be like cited that quickly, then something that is intentionally trying to blend in, yeah, you're gonna miss that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the famous one is Henry Cavill standing in front of a Batman versus Superman poster while dressed like the Clark Kent character with a Superman shirt on underneath, and nobody went up to him.
Something like that. Yeah. Um, Another thing that I was actually really surprised by, if sticking with the technicals, is kind of like uh, it, is that I was actually pretty surprised, like how well like the I don't know if anyone agrees with this, but like how well like the CGI was actually implemented in the film, where it's pretty
Yeah.
even for 1997.
Yeah,
Like
no.
it was pretty like they use it pretty sparingly, only when they need to. Like there's some top points where you could be like, okay, yeah, they obviously had to use CGI.
Yeah,
for some of this.
especially when I could see it, especially when the bugs were swarming the subway cart. But
Yeah.
overall, this is not that bad for its time.
No. Not too
There's
bad.
there's one particularly bad shot I remember. It's when um the what's her face, the scientist is running. She's on the subway platform. She's running away from the bug that she's just realized is a bug, and then the
Mhm.
camera holds on it, like just focuses on it and watches it transform from its like human shape into bug form. And it's like, oh, that's a bit, but I think it's because it's in bright light, it's fixed, it's focused on it. Whereas everything else in the film,
Mhm.
it's the bugs are either moving very fast, it's dark, it basically it's used in much more an organic ways and to benefit the CGI. Whereas that one particular shot was just like, please look at this thing. You're like, I'd rather not.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's fair. Sure. Yeah. In fact, just recalling it now, like, yeah, that makes sense. I was like,
Yeah, no, I get it.
I wish you kind of just
I
like
get it.
made it to where maybe they was just make it a little blurry to where it's like, okay, I could kind of tell what's sort of happening.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So all the other shots, the bugs are moving very fast. So you don't really get a chance to focus on the look of it. You just like, oh, that's oh, yeah, scary type thing. So yeah, they use the CGI to their advantage in that respect. Oh, and
Yeah.
poor old Josh Brolin,
Hmm.
poor old Thanos
Yeah.
got Thanos.
Yeah. 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 I was kind of surprised that Josh Brolin was in this. I was like, oh shit, it's Thanos.
that's that's Thanos. Holy shit.
Like, yeah. But oddly enough, like the standout character for me was Leonard, the cop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he honestly he was like my favorite character in the whole movie. Like he seemed like sort of like this genuinely like sort of like average Joe almost essentially like just getting wrapped up in this like crazy situation and just reacting in ways that like any one of us if we were in his position probably would. Would just be
Yeah.
The shit on the walls bit was funny. Is that guys? You ever seen shit like this? And there's actual shit on the walls and ceiling.
oh,
uh,
fucking
yeah.
shit.
Like he's like, guy, you've got to ask him. He's like, I'm not asking him. He's like, have you ever seen? And the cop goes, no, I ain't seen shit like this. Have you seen shit like this? Ain't nobody seen shit like this.
Uh,
Oh my god.
oh god, yeah,
Yeah.
he's pretty cool. And he's even like a pretty much a bit of a Chad, but to
Oh
his
yeah.
end, So I was like, oh no, no, not Leonard. Uh, but yeah, I mean, as far as like I guess when we get into like the story essentially, like what could we pretty much like point to as far as like I mean like we kind of mentioned the Judas allegory with with the Judas breed somewhat.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, like it's in a lot of ways, it's literally it feels like a B movie, like one of those 1950s B movies or a remake of those 1950s B movies. In fact, like that's really kind of the impression that I was getting throughout the film. Especially, I think the start does a fantastic job at setting everything up. Del Toro, even with some of his slower paced films like Nightmare Alley, he has a habit of diving right into it, and I think that's one of his biggest strengths because it allows his characters to be significantly more fleshed out and thus more engaging to the audience.
yeah,
So
yeah, that
I
kind
something
of
didn't
that
half I didn't half get Godzilla 98 vibes from the beginning. Just the way I don't know, it's just the shots or the way they're shown. It's just like I was watching, I was like, oh god, is going to
I
be
mean this
an explosion anytime soon?
I mean this was the year before, so
Yeah,
fair.
that was what I was thinking.
Yeah, like
But yeah, it does a very good job of setting up the situation, i.e., there's something going on, some kind of a plague or outbreak or something. That in that respect, it reminded me of Legend
Hmm.
or Mega Man,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah. See,
hmm,
here's another weird comparison that I had while watching. I compared it to a B movie, yes, but also Rain of Fire of all things. If you
Uh,
remember that one.
yeah, suppose, yeah, kind of.
hmm.
Yeah. Like
Um,
Quite the same,
especially
but I get what you mean.
it's not the same like setup wise, but the start definitely felt a lot like Rain of Fire by setting up the mystery and then revealing the plan to stop the bugs. In a way, it just came across like the reveal of the dragons.
hmm. Yeah, so basically, like the reveal of the end game, if you will, of the bugs and what have you, like what their goal is
Setting it up and
and what our heroes
setting
need
it
to do.
yeah, setting it up and then building the mystery as it continues. It's just I think it worked. That's that's kind of what I felt like. And I mean, neither one are bad films, so
Hmm. Yeah, really neat. Yeah, I mean, like the best way I could kind of describe this film is that in terms of like how the writing is in the film, like the storytelling, essentially, it's like yeah, like it pretty much is like it pretty much could have done a little more to sort of flesh things out, like the characters or what have you, from like like at least like the main ones, if you will, like the two primary
mhm,
protagonists, what
yeah,
have you, as well as like
yeah,
give the story a little more depth, a little more dimension to it, what have you. But it's like still, it's at least like still functional. Um, I know that Cianimus, you pretty much have said something about how the ending is a bit tismy. If we
mhm,
Oh
want to
God,
get into
yes.
that.
There's all sorts of bits and pieces that could probably be discussion once we've gone through the good bits. I There are some bits in the film whereas this seems like this was going somewhere or this had a point and
Yeah.
then it
mhm,
kind of didn't. Like the religious aspect, you obviously Judas. The fact that the bug was called Judas because it was essentially betraying the other bugs by using bugs to kill bugs. I can understand sort of like the reason why they would call it a Judas bug and sort of like a wink wink nudge nudge where we're portraying the bugs with bugs. And then they
mhm,
essentially the thing that saved the humanity then turns on humanity more of a deeper aspect.
yeah,
But there's
Yeah.
parts in the film where the scientist, I think she's Catholic, goes to that bloke who I'm guessing I've completely blanked on who exactly he was. He was giving lectures or something. So I'm guessing he's some sort of teacher. Um. Oh, there was a jump. Oh, I'll talk about that in a second. Um. But yeah, the teacher's talking to her, and he starts like saying something about, "Oh, is this affect? Is it real religion? Are you having issues with your religion? Something or other?" And it's like there's hints of religion going on, especially with the church, and the church is like being used not for church, the religious ways and stuff like that. There's religious aspects going on that then just get completely dropped until about five
yeah,
seconds from the end during the very tismy ending sequence where she stabs herself with a cross. So you're like, okay, that's a bit odd. And same with uh the child that she's trying to have a child, and they spend this very intimate, quite emotional moment where they realize they're not pregnant, and the camera sits there. You sit with them and you hold them. It's like, okay, this is quite good acting going here. It's quite an emotional moment, and then that gets completely dropped until 5 minutes from the end in the Tismy moments where the child just decides, oh, I'm going to be their child now. it's just
mhm,
it's just stuff that gets brought up at the beginning, seems like it's going nowhere, disappears
mhm,
for the majority of the film, and then 5 minutes from the end, it's like, oh right, yeah, we need to do something with this.
Yeah, because
yeah.
like
It's like yeah, it's like they completely dropped the plot point in favor for oh right bugs.
yeah. If I mean, like I don't know if like some of this is in like I watched the director's cut, ultimately. So I don't know if this is in the theatrical version or not, but like like when you pretty much find out like, oh yeah, it turns out she actually is pregnant, and the husband kind of like finds out, pretty much kind of
Oh,
sees like the thing in the in the trash can after they were like we'll try again later, honey, some other time. Because there's like a dramatic reveal where it turns out like, oh hey, she's positive. Um, he finds out, and then and by the end, and like they don't really like make that relevant until at any point in the film, until like at the like at the very end where he comes out a okay, after destroying the nest, and he's like, hey, we're about to have a baby. Get ready. Um,
because there's a bit in the train carriage where they're deciding, oh, I need to go this way, you need to go over here, I need to do this, and she says, well, I need to go out and do this, and her husband's like, no, you no, um, I need to do it because you need to survive for bullshit reasons. I'm gonna do the thing that you're gonna do because that. And so
yeah,
that felt very forced. But with that as a plot point, that would have made a hell of a lot more sense.
yeah. I definitely think I can't help it. Yeah, I would say definitely he should have mentioned. It's weird that he never mentions that she's pregnant. Right before they go off. To do their thing, like before he leaves. Because like he doesn't mean he's not all like, no, you need to stay here and keep yourself safe because you're. It turns out, like remember that thing pregnancy test you did? I checked back. We are gonna have a baby. So you need to survive because of
Yeah,
that.
because the last time he sees her, she leaves abruptly, so he doesn't get a chance to like talk to her properly. Then she goes to the station, but then he's already gone down, and then she gets captured. So yeah, the next time they actually get 5 minutes to talk about that sort of thing would have been in the train carriage.
Yeah,
So plot wise, that would have made a lot of sense as well.
yeah, as
So it's
opposed to just
kind of
saving the whole thing. Like, will she find out? Will she not find out? Sort of thing until like the very end of the movie. Like,
yeah.
it's
But
just
in the theatrical cut, we don't get the bin bit. He's like, they just, oh, we'll try again, and that's
that's
it.
that's surprising to me actually that they didn't even
Yeah.
include that. That's wait, and the thing is, from what I understand, like the theatrical version, the director's cut, like what's like the runtime difference between the two? Like 5 minutes?
I don't know.
I'm trying to figure.
I don't know. I think Xena would know this.
Yeah, like it couldn't possibly have been like that much longer of a runtime. Like, if the concern was like like getting in more showings, like if it's only like a couple minutes, I don't even know. Like, you may as well just keep this in the film, or even just like at least like just let the studio know like look, this is only a couple minutes. Okay, it's not gonna hurt any. It's not gonna hurt ticket sales for this thing or anything like that. Just kind of like playing to their intuition, ultimately. Like, just speaking from Del Toro's perspective, because he would be the one who's like telling the story. Yeah,
I'm
that's
trying to look because I watched it on Paramount Plus. How
hmm.
long was the film? An hour and 41 minutes.
Oh, oh, damn. Yeah, because the director's cut is like, well, like for what I checked, when you include credits, obviously it's an hour and 51 minutes. So actually, like
No,
so
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to think like what else may have.
Did he stare at the pregnancy test for 10 minutes?
No, 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 no. But like that's surprising that the whole thing with the bin and I guess him finding out about the pregnancy that's in the director's cut, not the theatrical. That's surprising. Hmm.
Hmm.
Makes me wonder what else.
Hmm. Do you know what I did? This is going to sound weird. Do you know what else I found I did like? Actually, this is going to sound weirder considering my opinions on AVP 2. The two children being eaten.
Oh yeah.
That
Oh yeah.
I was really. It's one of those again, one of those moments where you've got the whole setup of the kids being down in the dark here where all the bugs are, and the situation is, oh, they just found the bug, and they're like, oh god, what are they going to do? And you're sitting there thinking, how are they going to get out of this? They are pretty bloody screwed. And then they get screwed. You know, oh, cool, well done,
Yeah.
Phil. It
Yeah.
you followed through.
Yeah. Was this like before or after the Chewy, Chewy, the kid who kind of gets up with the
I think
spoons?
it's before because I remember thinking, oh, is that you've already shown the kids being eaten, so is this child going to get eaten? But he doesn't in the end.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
quite
because
that's quite an interesting one because they him using the spoons to essentially mimic the mimics,
yeah.
which is an interesting aspect.
Hmm.
Um, and then he ends up calling them friends. It's like,
Hmm.
okay,
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Hmm. Yeah, that's yeah. It kind of makes. Although I can't help but just sort of like wonder, like, so it's like okay, so what? So yeah, he wandered. So obviously he wanders off because he notices Mr. Funny
that uh,
Shoes.
that is
Mhm.
unfortunately something I don't really believe because autistic children, which I'm assuming he, based on his the way he's acting, I'm assuming he's autistic. A lot of them have um a lot of sensitivities, shall we say?
Yeah,
So they
Yeah.
have to be in like specific situations, and whatnot. So him hearing the bugs across the street, and then he decides, okay, I'm going to climb out the window into the cold, dark night, walk across the street. Which was it raining at the time? It was definitely damp. It's like, yeah, no, especially when he crawls into the very dark, dank, cobwebby, probably mucky church. Like, no, no. There's like 5 layers of no on this. He would not have gone there.
right. Yeah, but it's like even if we, but yeah, but I mean, even if we were to just like give that sort of benefit of the doubt, like he's that curious about about what the deal is with Mister Funny Shoes and where he's going. Um, why would the bugs like take him? Like what?
Well, this is the interesting thing because obviously, whenever people have bumped into these things, obviously the two kids they got scared and started trying to run away and screaming and all that lot. Um, Basically, everybody else who runs into these things is usually scared, and the scientist woman says when she's applying the oh god, what is it? The pheromone organ thing. Uh, the goo. When she's applying the goo later in the film, she says, "Try not to sweat because they can detect chemical changes and they will react to it." When
Yeah,
the child, the autistic child, goes in there mimicking the mimics, he's not scared.
yeah, that's yeah. Like yeah, it's like they take him, and that's the last we see of him until much later on when the wife finds just stumbles upon him essentially, or well, actually not even
No,
that.
it was
Like also,
his dad, wasn't it?
oh yeah, his dad. That's right. Yeah, his dad like finds him. Um,
Hmm.
before he gets eaten by gets killed by one of the bugs. Um, yeah, like it makes you wonder. Like, so Chewie has been down here, like essentially this whole time, just sort of like running around, like out and about with all these bugs, like crawling around, doing their thing. Um, yeah, I just kind of like had some questions like how are they? So it's like how is he like able to like freely run around, especially considering that he's autistic. Like like when the bugs do the mimic the sounds and he does the whole mimic thing because he doesn't because he wouldn't necessarily know any better to like like not to like if he doesn't want to be found to sort of not do that, not make sound that could give away his position. Um, yeah, there's just some questions about like why would like how he's able to like be able to like be out and about like that, especially when we know for a fact that these bugs can kill, have no problem with killing children, including. But
Yeah, it's one of those things that in the film there's a huge gap between him being taken and then him turning up, and it's just yeah, just don't ask questions. He's fine. He's clearly fine. Look, he's fine.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's like, look, the caverns of Manhattan, of like underground Manhattan, they're like they're they're dense enough, okay? Like he can escape them just fine, even though these books have been living down there for 3 years, for like a couple of years at least. Considering that they've been evolving from generation to generation to generation, for
Hmm.
ever since they were first let out, like for over the course of 3 years. So
Was it three
Hmm.
years?
yeah, yeah, it was 3 years. Like they were let out. Like, yeah, I mean, like you got the prologue of the film where they let out the Judas breed to kill the disease infected cockroaches. Um, and then it's like and then they do a flash forward to 3 years. And that's where the rest of the story plays out. So yeah,
I remember them saying 6 months, but it might have been the when they like confirmed everything was dead. That might have been that.
I think it was. I think the whole 6 months thing is like how long the. I think I mentioned that the Judas breed was originally just supposed to live for like 180 days or however many days. Like that would like 6 months, like around there. Like that's supposed to be like the intended lifespan of the Judas breed. Like they mentioned something about that, but then they were, and they were just like they probably say like, yeah, this was to live this amount, this number of days, or however this period of time, and then they just die off. They're not fertile. They can't. So we don't have to worry about them being like an invasive species and reproducing, and God knows what else. But obviously, life found a way, so they were
Yeah,
able
as it
to.
seems to do.
Yeah, as it seems to do, and then now we just have like this like sort of hive that they got going on down in underground Manhattan that's very aliens esque when you get right down to
Hmm.
it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's like when you look at it, you can't like when the husband, what was his name, Sam, I think, is it? Trying
sure.
to okay, all right. Your name is Sam from here on out. Um, yeah, like when he like stumbles upon the nest when he's like trying to get away from the other Judas breed bugs, like you couldn't, and he sees all the egg sacs, lying around, and you have like all the other bugs like hanging out the ceiling. Like how could you not think aliens?
Yeah,
Hmm.
but that's part of the whole like tismy ending bit. That's just yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess like it's supposed like it sort of hinges on the fact that people wouldn't really go down that deep deep into the subterranean area of Manhattan. Because they kind of
Yeah,
mentioned like, oh,
maybe.
yeah,
Although there's a lot of the fact that it has all the gas pipes in there and everything is like the fact that me knowing what the world is like, me knowing that my flat has had to have many visits from many people for various reasons over the years, seeing quite a large chamber full of gas pipes and whatnot, and I'm thinking to myself, you telling me that absolutely all of this worked perfectly fine for all those years, and
yeah,
no one ever came down here to
y-
check.
yeah. I mean, like, yeah, it's a chamber with pipes. It's basically a gas line. Like we have like in New York heaters. There are heaters that run on gas. like you like you're basically just telling, and it looked like that whole area. It's not like it looks that ancient per se, or at least like untouched. So
Yeah.
like
Oh,
what? So
it's a giant gas chamber that well, that's not that kind of gas chamber, the other kind of gas chamber. Um, that's connected via a small crawl through tunnel to a what was it, a 1950s or 1940s train underground train station for the military. That
yeah,
also, for some reason, has a swimming pool underneath it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Or is it a swimming pool, or is it just like, or is it just
A
like some
big tank of water for
big tank of
reasons.
yeah, big tank of water for our hero to
Again,
jump
tis a
into.
me ending.
Yeah. 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 There's a there's a lot of there's definitely things in the ending that makes you go like, wow, that worked out really well for our protagonist. That things turn out this way, and it also works out really well for our Judas breed, that their big old hive wasn't discovered by anybody who would even so much as check to see if the gas lines are working properly.
Oh no, the bit for me was when Josh Brolin was getting out, he opens that uh I don't know, closet, whatever the hell it was, and there's a bunch of eggs in there. Well, at least half a dozen. And that is nowhere near, as far as we can tell. That's quite close to the surface. So that's nowhere near the gas chamber. Um so you're telling me that when the gas chamber explodes, that bloke then goes, "Don't worry, everything is dead. They're all dead. It's all fine. The film is over. It's fine."
Oh wait, no, actually, it's not Josh Brolin who makes it up. Like, wait. Okay, no. Josh Brolin was the other was a side character. He's not the main guy. He's a it's a different
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. He when Josh Brolin's escaping, like when they fall into the station, he's like, "How do I get out of here?" And the policeman's like, "You go left, you go right, you take the second right, you go left up." And then when on his way out, he like I think he hears something. And he opens a door, sees a load of eggs, and he's like looks to the left, and he's like, "Oh, there's a hatch over there. I can get out." And then like 5 seconds later, he's dead.
Yeah, because the
But it's
bug's
like,
trying to get him.
yeah, but there's a load of eggs just there. You're like, oh, so those got burnt as well from the gas chamber explosion. It's like, that fire went far.
Yeah, I mean, like it blew up. I mean, it got far enough to where like you have like explosions from like you got like manhole covers like
Oh
like
God,
the
it
whole
did, didn't it?
yeah, the whole street got was like had like big explosions happening. um, yeah, just make the question like, I wonder if like anyone found out like that the like if anyone would ever find out like that the guy pretty much caused all that, like if there was like like there had to have been like property damage and some people injured at least from all that.
Oh God, yeah, if it's a gas line that actually supplies something, it's not just for some reason here's some gas. It's like this is an actual gas supply to like homes and businesses and stuff. Not only are you going to have the potential of just like loads of homes and businesses going up in flames, but also like a good part of Manhattan is now without gas in the middle
Yeah.
of what was it? Winter? Was it winter?
I don't think it was winter per se. I think it really had to. Minecraft World.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just looking around on my computer. I think it was meant to be in like the border between spring and winter. 'Cause it was definitely raining a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it didn't look warm. That's the point of Minky is it's like this weather does not look like warm weather, and now there's a bunch of people without heating. Like quite a lot of people without heating.
Yeah. Like
Hmm.
yeah. Like I mean, like let me just say, like they're pretty. I mean, like they're pretty much are gonna need that gas line situation like all sorted out before the coming winter because that.
Hmm.
Anyway, well,
Can you
they're gonna
imagine
need
on
it
the
like
news?
immediately for other reasons as well.
I mean that as well, yeah. Can you imagine on the news? And here's the guy who saved Manhattan. Oh, how did you save us? Well, I had to blow up this room with a load of gas in it. You did that? Oh,
Look, it killed my grandma when he was driving in the street. Oh God, yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking. Yeah, I remember thinking like someone had to have died as a result of this. 'Cause, like someone was
oh
like
God,
near.
yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh
It's when you're watching cars going up, when you're watching manholes crushing things. You're like, someone's dead. Someone
yeah,
is absolutely dead.
yeah, and that's like a good Manhattan's a big city. that whole sector where the gas explosion took place, is a decent enough ground. It would be like, God
sorry.
stop the manholes.
Yeah, somebody definitely died there.
Some of that.
At least one.
Unless you got like Samuel Jackson be like, can we all acknowledge here that this is a miracle? Uh,
Now
but
that would bring around the whole like religious Catholicism like arc back into
yes,
That would be
Yeah,
hilarious.
that would be great. uh, yeah. Now what?
new ending to the film. It's just like nobody got hurt. No, nobody got hurt. Really, nobody. No, no one. Wow. Praise Jesus. Praise Jesus. Credits.
Yeah, this is divine intervention.
Talk about divine intimacy. Actually, wait, that came out wrong. Never mind.
Divine intimacy.
That's
Whatever.
something else. That's a different crime.
Oh boy. Wow.
That's what Mary had.
Oh. Someone laughing in the background, or is it Minecraft
I was gonna
World?
say, what the hell's that?
That's me. That's me. That's me.
Okay. Yeah, because I know you're. Yeah, I know you said you're in the lobby. Like, I wonder if you're just like just just holding off
Oh,
laughing. Or something.
here's a random and slightly worrying question that I heard brought up, and it's just like, oh, that's a theological question. I don't think anyone wants to consider. Did Mary consent?
Hmm.
Hey, Rooney, get here and explain yourself.
Oh God! Oh God! Yeah. Apparently, I kind of figured. Yeah, I kind of figured this stream wasn't going to get that many views because it doesn't really look like we got much of any views right now. So I don't know. I don't think he's listening right now. If he listens
No.
back,
I'll probably.
or
If-
we just ask him,
Clip it.
clip it. Yes, that's a good
Do they
question.
still do the clips thing for YouTube?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think so. Probably could make a short out of it, maybe.
You want to
But,
make a short out of that?
a YouTube short, like, or I don't know what is it like? What? I guess it would probably have to be a clip. I don't know.
I suppose you could
Uh,
the mimic religious arc, the short.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, that could work.
Anyway, what were we talking?
Oh yeah,
the ending.
Yeah,
The ending.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah. Is there any other things to bring up about the ending, or is there like?
Oh yeah. Oh god. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh boy.
No, the fact is like here's the plan. It's like okay, so we want to move the train to get down to this passageway. You're like, okay. And then you're watching people walking in various directions to get to different things that will then allow them to like do things. Like essentially all these people are moving such great distances that they could have flipping walked to wherever the hell they were trying to get the train to go to long before they got the train going. The potentially the only reason was the fact that the policeman would have struggled. But
Yeah.
then he was bleeding more later. So it's
Yeah.
that
His
bit
legs
sticks
was.
with me.
Yeah, his legs were pretty. His leg was pretty fucked up. To where like he was kind of like bleeding, and they even were just like, "We gotta hide this. we gotta."
Yeah,
We gotta.
basically the whole moving the train thing is purely to save him. Everybody else could have just gooed up and gone.
Well, I mean, it's to save. It's purpose to save themselves in general, not just him. Really, it's just kind of
But yeah,
like
that's just what I'm saying. It's like they could have got gooed up and walked down and then climbed up pretty fine. according to what the film shows us.
Yeah.
So it's just like they risk their lives purely for him at that point. But that's a small thing. That's a small thing. While doing all of that, they then go, "Oh wait, look, here's a dumbwaiter." Nobody saw that on the plan. No one.
Oh yeah, yeah, the dumb
And, and
waiter.
then, and then, uh, the I mean, finding the autistic child down there is just a fluke beyond a fluke. That's ridiculous. Um, then they find the dumbwaiter. They get trapped in the room with the dumbwaiter. Uh, what was it? The dumb the king arrives. Or the male arrives. You're like, okay, why did he arrive? Oh well, maybe he was attracted by the blood like everybody else. But okay, you can sort of get around that one. Then he goes into the room with the dumbwaiter, which nobody else did. All the other bugs went after the cop with the bleeding leg. So okay, so why did he go when the others didn't? Um, then he goes to the dumbwaiter and somehow works out the mechanism.
Ah.
Hmm.
That's that got me. It's just like when he looks to the left and then the camera pans over to the wheel and he starts attacking the wire. It's like, why is he doing that? Is he worked something out here? Is the male somehow more intelligent than the women? Hashtag women too.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess they kind of established that since he's the king, that means he's like the alpha, alpha male, literally. So maybe there's like something to it where he probably would have a bit more intelligence because he's the leader. Like you would kind of have a leader that would be like, or yeah, I don't know. But anyways, we got Zavik here.
Hey guys, how's it
Hi.
going?
Hey, doing well.
No.
Finally, you made it.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had work today, and before I had seen that it was supposed to be at 8 o'clock for me, but I guess I don't know if you changed it.
Yeah, I kind of had, yeah, I had to change it because I had like an errand to run, in the middle of the day. Well, so
Gotcha.
I kind of had to make sure that everything was sort of lined up, just to make sure like I have like enough time to be able to finish it, and because I wouldn't be able to look
Mhm.
because the errand was kind of would be happening while during the time I would usually start, so I had to
Yeah.
start a little later than
Yeah,
usual.
I'm just on my break right now, but what have you guys been talking about?
The ending.
Yeah, well, particularly like the climax, essentially, or yeah, just somewhere in that area.
Oh,
Yeah, because like the film for the like the film up to that point was at least like pretty functional, like in terms of like, but there is pretty much even though there's some questionable bits here and there, but yeah, like once you kind of as we kind of been starting to go over like the climax essentially during the last reel of the film is there's a bit it's a bit it's there's a lot of tism, there's a fair bit of tism going on.
Yeah.
hmm.
Yeah. The male's death is was one of those ones just like for some reason the male has like 9 lives. It just keeps coming back.
I mean, that is
Eh,
kind of like what horror. That's kind of like a horror movie trope in a lot of ways.
It's a horror trope.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah. Then again, that's kind of
it's
like
one of
how
those things you're like,
cockroaches work.
Yeah.
yeah, I suppose, but yeah, not coach. We sort of pointed that out before. They kind of look like cockroaches when they're smaller, but they're not actually cockroaches.
yeah,
It's
Yeah,
one of
no,
those.
they're not.
It would have been one of those like quite good deaths, as far as I would have been concerned, where like the male gets up through the dumbwaiter, goes to attack the woman, and then she kicks the board out that's holding the dumbwaiter up, and then it crashes down. He's like, "Oh, he's not quite dead." Then the explosion goes off, and that gets him. You're like, "Oh, cool." But no, it's adding another one. And then he
Mhm.
gets his first
Yeah.
train.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I thought. Like when the guy is in the gas chamber and the bugs that were trying to crawl through like the little that little area that he was crawling through, the vent area that he was crawling through to get to the gas chamber. Like they were trying to bust through the door there, the lat, and and then they stop right when the king was supposedly had the dumb leader dropped on him. I thought that was like oh, I guess that does it then. The leader, the king is dead, and so now the rest of the bugs just kind of figure that out. Or they get that, they kind of sense that, if you will. They kind of like it's like, ooh, my Judas sensor tingling. um, and then and I guess that makes it like a lot more erratic. But yeah, like having the king just turn out to survive the dumb raider, just like crash into him, fall on him. It's just to have like this one last little section there, where heroin sort of defeats him. That's kind of with a subway.
Yeah, with the stigmata cross to the hand bit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's
Oh,
eh, eh,
and he can't catch up with her after either.
oh yeah,
But
yeah. I
these
was just
bugs
gonna.
are like really fast. They can shoot across like whole train stations and grab people before they even have a chance to get away. Except this time.
I think because of in this case, like not only I think for that, like not only is the bug that's chasing her, like not only is he like doesn't have wings, so he can't really fly really, but also like because of the fact that he already sustained like enough injuries to where that would sort of hinder his movement.
I
Um,
would give you that, except he catches up to her. When I was watching the film, he catches up to her. So like, okay, so he is faster than her, and then he misses her like 3 times. Like you hear the whoop of the arm swinging past her, the back of her head. You're like, oh, okay, that's
oh
not
yeah.
great.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like he did. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
fair.
but yeah, that's the. I think that's the worst part of the Tismy ending.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's not too great, but the ending's pretty tismy. I don't know if you got anything up, what anyone
Yeah,
else
no,
you.
I don't really have much to say. I think Animus echoed a lot of sentiments.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you can't help but think that it's definitely one of those films where you could tell, like it's one of those scripts where you could tell that Del Toro had like had like some really awesome ideas and probably had like a good story
Yeah.
going on here, but
The
there
thing
is
is
unfortunately.
he couldn't really act upon them because of intervention.
Yeah,
So
there definitely had to have been a lot of
how much
studio meddling in
yeah,
this
so the
particular
question
case.
is how much of that ending was his fault?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, I
I
did
don't.
see a lot of names going past, including some guy called Bob Weinstein. I was like, oh,
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's yeah, because it was from Miramax and Dimension Films. Yeah, the Weinsteins
Yeah.
were involved with it. So.
Yeah. Anyways, I think so Vic, you knew someone who worked on this or know someone who worked on this. Just to steer into that direction, right? Oh, he's muted.
It's muted. Yeah, that's what's going.
he's hiding in shame. No,
Ah. Yeah, it's kind of like he kind of it's
Can you
mainly
hear me
like
now?
someone who. Hmm?
Oh,
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you? Oh, you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you.
Let me know if I'm
Eh,
roboting or anything.
Okay, now you're roboting. Clanker.
Yeah, sorry. I'm in my gig right now for work.
Uh,
So give me
Wow.
1 second.
I heard work.
Something work. Something. Give me 1 sec.
Whack, 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 whack. Yeah. But
I'm trying to think what else is there to discuss regards the plot or the characters or anything like that.
yeah,
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 no, I got nothing. I
it,
think
yeah,
we've
like
said pretty much all that needs to be said outside
yeah,
of
it's,
like.
yeah. That's kind of like the best. Like I said, like the film is mostly functional. Let's just say, like in terms of like, yeah, there's a lot of really good ideas. They could have been fleshed out a little bit more, but what we do get is at least for the most part, like it works. But yeah,
I think the actual mimic part of mimic didn't play as big. Oh, he's gone.
Oh no.
Mimic didn't the mimic part of mimic didn't play as big a part as it probably could have. That's probably more like leaning into like the Judas angle of it, but in terms of like there's like one or two bits, like the bit in the station where she walks up to the guy, like the shadow of the figure, and is like, I think she asks him something, and then when he starts sliding across the floor, she's like, oh, okay, maybe not. Um, but other than that, it doesn't really play that big a part, and I think they got the interpretation of the mimic thing in nature wrong, like backwards. Because they say when they're putting the two halves of the face together to show that it's a um, kind of close to a human face, they say, oh, if it's like caterpillars mimic snakes and flies can mimic spiders and stuff like that, and it's all prey animals mimicking the predators, and then she says the Judas bug has mimicked its predator, people. But throughout the film, the bugs are the ones preying on people.
yeah, it's kind of interesting. It made me like one of the things I kind of think about in terms of like a bug mimicking its predator essentially is like the owl butterfly, which is like
Mm-hmm.
this butterfly that has like patterns on its wings, where with eyes that look like owl eyes, to hide from owls essentially, or to make itself like to hide from bigger predators, like a bird or bat or anything like that. Something that an owl would also hunt. Like they would just be like, "Oh shit, that's an owl, get away." um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, when you kind of think about it, I guess it's like the fact that that doesn't considering that the Judas were hunting humans. Like there isn't really any point in the film where humans are hunting the Judas.
Mm.
It's
No, it's
Yeah,
not. It's,
so maybe
yeah, I was
it's
kind of
the
confused
opposite
by
of
that as well.
maybe it's the opposite way around where the predator is mimicking the prey to help them instead of vice versa.
Wow.
Eh,
Oh. Nope.
they
Yeah.
had to go back to work. Well,
Yeah,
I'll,
I'm not.
yeah. I don't know what else there is to say then about this movie. I stand by it being the weakest of Del Toro's filmography and still being quite strong in its own right.
Okay.
If this is the weakest it can get, oh boy,
Yeah.
you
Yeah. It's
all
like.
you all are in for everything else.
Yeah. It's like. It's like. All right. Well, that's a good sign. If this is like his one of his weaker entries,
Yeah.
it's like.
The watch Yeah, doing the watch through was honestly one hell of a blast, and I'm very much looking forward to see how Frankenstein goes. I'll talk more
Yeah.
on that
Yeah. I'm really looking
on the
forward to
9th.
that. Yeah. Vic in private chat said that he knows the guy named Lee Joyner, who worked on the bug designs. And
Yeah.
he even Vicky
Oh.
also interviewed him, for his work on Godzilla '98.
Hmm.
So
That's cool.
yeah, so I guess maybe the comparison between this film and Godzilla '98, I think you made Cinemus. Apparently, that's it has like a bit, a
Pretty
slightly
apt.
extra layer to it as well, because
Pretty befitting.
Yeah,
Um,
that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh, there was
So,
some.
yeah.
Oh God, who? Norman Reedus? Is that the guy's name?
um,
I think. Let me just. I think it's Norman Reedus. I was looking. So I think it was like a sewage worker finds the body of a bug,
I'm not even sure if that. I
and I
think
was like,
it's someone who. I think it might be someone who looks like him, but I don't think it is. Could it be? I don't have my laptop on me right now. Really, it's not active. I don't know.
because I'm pretty sure. Well, I was watching it on. Well, it was actually I was watching it through Amazon Prime, but Paramount was the actual thing I was watching on.
Yeah.
I remember looking over, and it's like Norman Reedus is in this, and yes, he is. IMDb says, yep, he was the sewage worker.
Oh, yeah. He was the guy that pulls out the bug carcass.
Yeah,
There. Oh, that's pretty neat.
because he's quite like for a small part. He
Yeah.
quite he made an impression.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's yeah, for a little bit. He's like, "Yo, guys, I think I found a kid in here." Like, no. Like, thankfully,
He's like, yeah, we were just gonna throw this out. Yeah, what?
it's like you're gonna throw this big bug carcass out. I think we need to take this to somebody who probably would have a better idea of what to do with this. Just to be like, what
The
does
thing
this
is,
mean?
I could absolutely believe the people doing that. I've currently work with somebody who is, if I work in a creative job where there's lots of creative stuff going on, and quite often you get like offcuts and little bits and pieces. You go, oh, that's kind of cool. I might keep that for later. I've got placemats in my home that are literally just offcuts of other jobs from my job, and I just use them as placemats because they're nice and sort of decorative and whatnot. But there's a guy who I work with who just doesn't have that. So he will throw stuff away, and I just like, why'd you throw that away? That's useful. Oh, is it? Oh, I thought I just got rid of it. And stuff like that all the time. He's so job's worth, I suppose, is a good term for it. He will just do the job.
Yeah.
And that. So when I heard that guy go, no, we were just going to throw that out, I was like, oh God, he's one of them.
Yeah, like what if he ever said? What if it actually was like if he said like if he mistook it for like a kid, all that like what would he have actually said? Like, oh, let's throw that out. Like, oh God, dude, what is wrong with you? Maybe not. Maybe don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, that actually reminds me. I said earlier there was like a jump scare bit in the film. The not scientist teacher guy. He's in this. It looks like he's in a completely empty classroom. Like there's a long shot from the back of the room, and it's just him on his own. No one in sight. Nothing in sight. And then it focuses in on him, and then suddenly you just get boom. The bug carcass gets dropped on his desk, and it's the ginger girl from earlier. And it's just
Yeah.
like, how did you get in this room without him noticing?
Where the fuck were you?
It's literally like she teleported in.
Yeah, I mean, and considering that this is considering that this bug carcass might actually be like rotting, it probably smells all kinds of bad. Like he probably would notice the smell before the footsteps. If anything, he would be like, "What the hell is that smell?" Like, especially
Yeah,
considering that he
there's
found this in like this thing was found in like a sewage facility or water treatment.
yeah, it was scooped out of a water treatment plant fed from the sewer. Yeah, so yeah, that thing would have stank.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just so bad. It's just so fun, but it's such a small scene. It just really got me. It's just like And the film makes a point of showing this quite expansive room with this guy far away from any wall or door, and then suddenly, boom! She's just there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to like figure out like if it was the same thing with the director's cut because because that's the version I watched. I'm not like there may have been like an extra. There could have been like an extra bit where she did walk in, but yeah, I imagine like that was sort of done for like dramatic effect, you know. But yeah, it's like that's a little awkward. Like you show us this big room, but no evidence of this lady coming in. Um, that's that's weird. That's a choice.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm
Oh,
trying.
there was a nice detail at the start of the film. Sorry, um, when the priest dies, and then the bug comes to get the body, and it's trying to drag him underneath the building, and it gets the like his rib cage gets stuck,
Oh
and
yeah,
the bug's like, "Oh, for God's sakes!" Bang, bang! It just starts
oh
just
yeah,
back and forth until he eventually like crams him through the
yeah,
opening. It's like,
yeah. The
yep,
sound design was
that's
pretty effective.
oh yeah, the whole thing was just like beautifully done. It's just like that's one of those little details. You're just like that's the sign of a good like that's an artist's like detail there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's definitely like it's definitely yeah. You can definitely tell you're in for like a potentially pretty gnarly film in a way because like the sound design of like the priest's like rib cage getting compressed as the bug like
Hmm.
forces him through the sewer. Great. It's just ugh. Really well done. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can't help but wince at it. I would say, but yeah, yeah, pretty
Yeah.
yeah, some neat stuff. Yeah, a lot of neat stuff in this film. That's in and of itself a pretty neat film
Hmm.
Yeah,
overall.
like I
Yeah.
said earlier, it's like if this film
The
came out
the
today,
weakest.
it would make an impression.
Yeah,
Yeah, it absolutely would. It's the weakest of its works, and that says a lot.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty much like yeah. If it was released today, people would probably be hyping it just a bit too much, perhaps in terms of like just like oh my god, this is so much better than what we've been getting. A lot of what we've been getting these days. When it's just like
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's like doing just enough. It's doing just enough to where it functions. Even if it does have like some floopy bits here and there.
Hmm.
Although even then, like most of the floopy bits are kind of more compartmentalized in one section of the film, and they unfortunately do kind of add up when you start thinking about it more. But
Hmm.
but even then, it's not impossible to fix. Let's just say, like this can be like it's a like it's a like the ending or the climax. Really, it's like there's things that can be fixed. Ultimately, you probably just have to like tweak some parts here and there.
yeah. A
Where
lot of the
Hmm.
tism is at the end where they're just like, we need to end this thing, like definitively. So and
yeah,
that's where most of the tism comes from.
yeah,
But otherwise, pretty strong film, I say.
yeah. Yeah, it's a film I'd recommend. I mean,
Yeah.
I definitely would recommend a lot of Del Toro's other works, a lot of his later works before this, but I definitely would still recommend it.
It's better than Superman.
Yes,
No, it's not.
yes,
Yes, it is.
No, it's not, buddy.
Yes, it
No,
is.
it's not.
yeah,
Yes, it is.
We
Hang on,
will
hang
get
on.
to
Let me get
that
the
when
quote.
we get to that.
Let me get the quote. I'm gonna get the quote because this. There are two things. There are two things that completely like threw me with the Superman film. Like, the first thing was just the awful amount of exposition at the start of the film.
oh god,
Just
yes,
like he cramming it all in at the start. It's just like Jesus, why? But
yeah,
then the thing that completely destroyed like any like me taking this film seriously was when Lex Luthor was on the TV. I've just read the line. I've just read the line. Oh god! And the guy on the TV says, "You seem kind of upset." And Lex Luthor says, and I quote, "I'm scared because who knows how large his secret harem is already." He's scared of
Considering
Superman's hoe train.
we shall get to that when we get to that.
It's like, I'm scared of how many hoes he's got. What?
Tune into the Superman debate on Gojo the Makai's channel on potentially October 17th. We don't know if that's the definitive date. We shall see. We're still waiting for the Shin debate release for the Shin debate date.
I've got to get my video out before then.
You got time. Yeah, you got time. You got like until the 17th. Yeah, that's a apparently the 17th. Apparently the 17th. That they Gojin or Gojin, the people participating in this debate, kind of are hoping to schedule it on the birthday of the creator of Superman.
Of one of the creators, Jerry Siegel.
Creators. Yeah, Jerry Siegel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so kind of seemed appropriate. I'm hoping that I have the 17th off. I think I'm kind of past the unfortunately I'm kind of at this point in time not going to be able to try to request it off. So right now I'm just kind of crossing my fingers and hoping I have it off, or at least. And also it's just a matter of if I am working, then hopefully that sort of debate stream would happen at a time where I would be able to make it. I don't know.
It's a Friday, so I'm hoping it's later.
Yeah, I would hopefully I would just have a day shift, and if the stream's on the evening, then that's then there we go. But right now it's just kind of I will let you guys know when I can, sometime next week, if the 17th will work for me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to know? Do you want to know something quite bad that I kind of realized when I was writing my script, and now kind of want to rewrite my script?
Yeah.
Lex Luthor's plan is a worse version of Walter Simmons' plan.
Oh God, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Honestly,
Walter Simmons' whole thing is the Titans appeared. Well, we can assume based on what he was going to say before he got killed, but it looks like the Titans appeared and he had an epiphany, and then he wanted to basically get rid of the Titans by creating his own.
Yeah.
He ended up using parts of the Titan to do it, which fucked him over.
Yeah.
But essentially, I'm going to make my own Titan to usurp the Titans. Lex Luthor's plan is he got upset when Superman appeared because Superman made, basically like the Titans in the Monsterverse, the Titans made humanity no longer the alpha species of the planet. The Titans were. So Walter Simmons wanted to become the alpha again by usurping the Titans. Mm-hmm. Lex Luthor is upset because Superman's strength makes people look weak. I think that's an actual quote from the film as well. So it's and then his plan is to get rid of Superman. How is his plan to get rid of Superman? Apparently, it's to make Superman again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was about to say
not the entire reason for the plan, but again, we'll get to that when we get to that. I think Lex Luthor's plan, you guys severely missed some stuff about him, especially with the exposition dump, with the monologue.
What's really funny about that is they have the robot say, "Oh, Superman, I've preemptively loaded up the message," and you're like, "Oh, so that's the reason why Lex Luthor finds the message." It's a really shit reason why he finds the message, but at least that's kind of a reason. But then they don't do that, and he walks up to the computer and goes, "Right, let's find something." It's so he hasn't noticed the message. So then it's just blind luck that the electrician, whatever the hell her name was,
because nobody knows. Wait, because nobody went inside the Fortress of Solitude up until that moment. Nobody knew where the fuck it even was.
But the whole thing was that she just finds the message, like immediately. But at the same time, the film does this quite a few times. There's like stuff that happens in the film which feels like it should have been connected, but then it wasn't. I have to go through my notes again to find them. But there's bits in the film where it's like this feels like it should have been connected, and it just kind of wasn't. Really weirdly done.
Okay,
And
we'll
that's one
deal
of
with
those
that.
times.
Okay, we'll deal with that when we get to it. I don't want to start another preemptive debate now.
Like considering, CMS, I would pretty much be assuming that you probably wouldn't be a part of the debate.
He wouldn't.
Yeah, because
He wouldn't. I just don't want to reveal.
Oh God,
I
his points
just
are good. No, he's not a part.
This has been planned out ever since the movie itself.
What I'm saying here,
released.
what I'm pretty much saying is I think Cinemus, it's fair. It would be fair, even though we're pretty much done talking about Mimic. This is supposed to be a Mimic stream, but I think we've just kind of talked about.
I do apologize.
No, you're good.
No, you're good.
No,
Yeah,
you're
I think
good.
he would be I think it would at least be fair for him to at least get a couple points out. At least.
Yeah,
before.
no,
I'll
fair.
try and-
That
Like I said, I'll try and get the video out before then, so that everybody gets a chance to watch it and then realize
Yeah.
the truth.
just
But-
like some hashing out of the arguments. I get it. It's just I don't want to reveal my side of the stuff I don't want to reveal my
Yeah, fair enough.
arguments
Yeah,
until
yeah.
that debate.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of it's just really I'm just saying it's really tempting, at least for me. It's just killing me. To wait this long.
See, I
It's not a good film.
vehemently disagree. Nah, it is. It's borderline perfect from start to finish.
What is
Oh,
wrong?
God.
When
What the?
Superman is captured, he whistles for the dog, and Lex Luthor goes, "Oh no, the dog's being hypnotized with braintisms," which brings up the question of how the hell they did that. But never mind. At the end of the film, Superman whistles for the dog, and the whistle is going through the speakers. It's filling up Lex Luthor's control room, and Lex Luthor has absolutely no reaction to it. He doesn't go, "Oh shit, the dog's about to come." He doesn't say anything like that. He just looks around confused, even though he knew earlier that the whistle was meant for the dog and reacted to it. It's like the film forgot, which again is just another example of this. Seems like this should have been a connected up thing, but just wasn't. It's like
Wait. Okay.
there was
Just
different writers
some
not communicate with each other.
just some context.
let's see.
Is the control room like during the little section of the
It's
Luthor
it's
Corp
during the-
building?
Yeah, it's the one section that
So
becomes. a
Superman
flying
actually
space.
did whistle right before the whole big sort of speech thing. I imagine at least right before.
Oh, it's when Ultraman has got Superman's face in the ground, and Superman goes,
It's after,
brain
after the
breathe
1A.
born, and
It's
he
after
whistles.
the 1A sequence.
Okay,
And
yeah.
then it cuts to the control room, and you can hear the whistle, and people are reacting to the whistle, but they're not reacting in "Oh no, the dog." They're reacting in "What the hell is he whistling for?" Even though earlier they acknowledged the fact that the whistle was for the dog. It's like
Well, Luthor would
there's
at
a
least know.
disconnect going on here. Well, Luthor would at least know, yeah, and maybe try and do something. And that was another thing. Why is he writing down the instructions for the attacks when Superman doesn't know what the instructions for the attacks are?
It's for the people commanding Ultraman.
Yeah, but why is he writing them down? He doesn't need to. He's not hiding them from Superman. Superman doesn't know what 12C
Because
is.
he's monologuing and he wants to keep monologuing and he doesn't want to interrupt the monologue of the attacks. Until
the people don't activate the attack until after he stopped speaking.
1A. 1A.
Why not yourself? But yeah. There's quite a few problems with the film. It
Yes.
definitely needed some polish.
Add
I'm gonna
polish.
keep standing by everything. I'm gonna keep
Yep.
standing by everything I said about that film. Okay,
No,
I'm gonna stand by
polish.
everything I said.
No,
Uh,
no. Like, no, I would say like the ending of no. That Superman doesn't need polish. Like the ending for Mimic needs polish. I mean, I could say that much because that's like, oh, we could probably just tweak some stuff here and there. Because like, imagine like if you were like like someone's shoes or like really nice shoes were like really dirty and they need them to just kind of like to just like shine them up. Like the guy and his kid, in the movie, like just
Yeah.
kind of like, just to clean it up a bit. It's like, there you go, all right, easy fix. Nothing too significant. James Gunn Superman doesn't need a polish. Okay, he needs something way better than that. It's like a shoe that's falling apart in your hands.
Yeah, there are a couple who are quite significant. The fact that the message isn't really brought up again,
Yes.
like it's like the big issue. It's like two separate issues, like the whole thing of Lex Luthor trying to do something to cause Superman to look bad, but then there's an actual thing that makes Superman look bad, and then at the end of the film they just go, "Oh yeah, Lex Luthor's a traitor! Hooray, Superman!" It's like, but Lex Luthor being a traitor doesn't wash away the fact that Superman has got some dodgy background stuff going on. That's still a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. I
Lex
mean,
Luthor
like,
being bad doesn't get rid of that.
Because Superman went against the message's nature very explicitly.
But he was already doing that.
he was already doing that before the message.
That was the whole point. Is that he's been good. He's always done good.
Also,
But you were doing
also,
good because
also
you were trying to
everyone
trick
was
us.
also everyone was arguing over. Everyone was more focused on, the major global conflict that was going on at that point, an invasion of a foreign nation,
And let me put it this way. Okay, well, here, let me
as
put it
well
this.
as the world ending.
Well, let me put it this way. Like Superman, like stopping the world from getting destroyed by a cosmic rift, by a pocket dimension being left open, and what have you, wouldn't really sort of distract people from from the question of like, wait, is Superman like actually still
Yeah,
with us?
we haven't seen the aftermath of that sequence. All we got is like Superman saved the day. Everyone is fine, and now we're moving on.
Well, the thing is, I mean, like, shouldn't there be
Technically
more
speaking,
people
Mr. Terrific.
questioning
Yeah, but never mind.
what?
Technically speaking, Mr. Terrific stopped the rift, but yeah.
Right. I mean, well, I mean,
My point still
Imagine.
stands.
I'm just going to put it this way. Imagine Jeffrey Epstein saved someone.
yeah, like
Hooray! Jeffrey Epstein's a hero. What about this lot over? Jeffrey Epstein's a hero.
yeah, like
That's
you got
exactly
all
the same thing. It's like, here is this really disturbing message from his parents, which is apparently the film is autistic with the attention it gives to how confirmed and original and definitely true this message is. And then it's like, this is definitely a thing. And then everybody's news before the world ending, before the second conflict, before literally everything else, everybody is focused on this message, talking about this message basically makes Superman look incredibly sus.
yeah, like
And
the
then
world.
the end of the film just forgets about that.
Yeah, the message is pretty much like his parents saying, like, "Here, rule this world with an
Bill-
iron fist. Kill if you have
Okay.
to. Have a harem." Hold on, I'm not
Bill-
done. I'm not done yet. The whole point of the message is like, our son, you should rule this world with an iron fist. Kill whoever you have to that may stand in your way. Have as many wives as you wish. Have as many unconsenting baby mamas if you wish. The message would essentially, like, since that message is out there and the world is like sus, the last time we see them before the big world cataclysm would be like, it wouldn't change people's minds like then, because like, in order to rule a world full of people and have a harem, you'd have to have a world with full of people to make a harem with, because if he lets the cataclysm happen, there wouldn't be a world to conquer. Like, if we were just going by that logic.
So people
Yeah,
shouldn't even be
that is
like, "Oh,
actually
Superman's a hero now because he's safe because he stopped it from getting destroyed." It's like no, he like if you were just still believing that message at that point, the world
That
the world
wasn't.
was
problem with
It's
the whole.
not
That is the whole
every.
problem with
It's
it.
not everyone is cheering for Superman at the end. Everyone is saying Lex Luthor is a traitor. That doesn't mean everyone suddenly trusts Superman. That means everybody suddenly hates Lex Luthor. Those two can happen completely separately.
There was at least one news report said, "Oh, Superman's a hero now," and nobody. This is the thing: we don't see
It's
enough of the end. That is the only argument you've got, is that we don't see enough of the end. I'd have to go rewatch it, but you don't see enough of the end to see the consequences post the thing. You don't see enough people going, "Oh, well, okay, he saved us, but yeah, Superman." Oh, we
Yeah,
don't
It's
see
also
enough
the
of
fact
that
that there's
really.
also I want to highlight the fact that this is an introduction to a cinematic universe and they'll potentially expand upon that in the future.
I mean,
That
it's
they
not a great introduction, it must be said.
it's not a good introduction. Like you got to
I
have like
tried
a good.
keeping in mind my parents watched the original film. They probably watched the original, this 1978 film, like potentially closer to my age, which is quite worrying. Anyway, they remember the original film, and when I started explaining this one to them, they're like, "Sorry, what? What? Why is God? Why is Superman fighting a fire-breathing monster? Why is his parents like the tyrants? Why is this? Who's this guy with the great?" They had no idea what the fuck was going on,
Why is
because this
Lex
is a
Luthor such?
brand new film and
Yeah.
everything is just like thrown at you at once.
Why does Lex Luthor suddenly able to create a pocket dimension and have all this crazy
I
tech and
mean,
resources and yet
cloning
still be a
Superman
complete
for
idiot?
starters. Do you know what sentence? Do you know the sentence that really got me? Was like, I managed to clone you after scouring all of your battlefields and finding a single hair, which
Yeah.
is just like, okay, that's interesting. There's been lots of battles. Who's he been battling with? That's an interest. That we would like to see those films. But then he said, and just like with every cloning, um, cloning is imperfect. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. There's cloning in this universe.
Yeah. In this
That's a
first
known
movie.
thing.
Yeah, this is something that you say. This is like, yeah, it just doesn't sit right when this is the first movie of a cinematic universe. Like you're already going this fucking insane with what characters have, what
There's
resources they have, and what they can
way
do.
there is way, way, way not enough like world building done for this. Like 300 years of super people being a thing in a world, and apparently publicly known. Because I think at the start it says like it's been 300 years since metahumans became like public knowledge, or whatever the hell it said. So
Yeah,
300 years of super people being a thing. That's gonna cause all sorts of like changes to the world. Like
yeah,
every single country would have a super person,
yeah,
whether they're like natural, they're born it, or they're just hired. There's so many things to think about, but this story doesn't really touch on that, especially when the world is about to be split in half by an interdimensional rift, and the only fucker who comes along to save it is the guy who was recently in prison for being dodgy. He's like, where's everybody else?
yeah, and not to mention, like, I guess it also just sort of begs the question, like, how are they gonna like because they would want to introduce like other characters like Wonder Woman or Aquaman or what have you, like down the line, like Atlanteans and Amazonians who like characters who in other iterations, would have been around for like many like way more than 300 years at least. Like, how would they be able to introduce like Atlantis or Themyscira in this world if you establish that metahumans have been around for 300 years, or like had they been around for 300 years in public, in like in sort of like prominent public
Yeah.
consciousness, or
This is why like films like Iron Man start off with just Iron Man, and then
exactly.
they will introduce stuff in the past that was just like secret stuff. And then it's
Yeah,
everything after that initial film that everything starts to get public and changes start happening to the world. You
yeah, and then
slowly introduce bit by bit information
yeah. Yeah, like even Man of
because trying to
Steel.
do it all at once is difficult.
Yeah, even Man of Steel, like, didn't go this crazy. Like all it did was just establish that Kryptonians existed, and where the building blocks going from there, like about introducing Batman or introducing Wonder Woman. That could just come later. But at least as a Man of Steel, like the universe was at least like relative, like still more grounded, and at least like in a way where it's like more tangible to be able to expand on that world going forward. Say what you will about Man of Steel as a film on its own. Now, granted, the issue in terms of like that, in terms of the world building of DCEU, would just like whether or not it was congruent going forward is like what those other films that introduce those other elements like Wonder Woman or Aquaman or Batman or Cyborg or so on and so on, how those like try to line up in the world as established since Man of Steel.
Yeah, the Snyderverse is a much more interesting case of watching you're watching just Justice League set up one thing, you see films after the fact doing their fair things, and then the reboot of the Justice League into the Snyder Cut then essentially retcons a bunch of things which then conflict with the films that came afterwards. And then
Yeah,
you start getting, okay, which one's meant to be the canon one, which meant to be, and it just becomes this huge pile of a mess of a just, yeah, that was just the whole thing.
yeah. The
And
flat. I
somehow
mean,
this film's done something similar, but in a very short space of time.
yeah. Like at least with the Snyderverse, like it was like after the first movie, not during the first movie. It's like
I'm just not gonna say anything for now. I'll save it from.
no,
I'll
Take
that's
save
notes.
everything I need to
Take
say.
notes of all these arguments, and
I'm
then
taking
you can
notes because
bring
I
up your.
know. I'm taking notes because I know exactly because I know what I want to say. Maybe it's just me, but I personally do not mind this quick of a jump.
A
I
quick jump
like,
can be a thing. I mean, lots of films say this is the starting point of this film, like Equilibrium. It's just like the world's taking loads of drugs to make them emotionless, and then but there's the
yeah,
people who are, and
yeah,
that happens.
yeah. I
But
mean,
when you have a film like Superman 2025, which tries to do that, but then doesn't do it enough, it's like it's the equivalent of giving someone the first Superman comic book, and then they start reading all the comic books, and then they start like seeing all the introduction of the characters and whatnot, and giving somebody Infinite Crisis and Infinite Worlds as their first comic book, and go, there you go. And then they've got to sit there and go, what the hell is going? Who are all these people? And then there's copies of these people. There's multiple what?
yeah.
That's basically what Superman 25 is like.
Yeah, I
But
mean, yeah, maybe not
it
exactly that
doesn't.
because obviously Infinite Crisis kind of deals with the multiverse and all that. But like, let's just say like this isn't too far off from that sort of
Yeah.
hypothetical. Um,
But then on top of that, it's not because that comic book again would have been one in a sequence that would have built up to that point. So it would have had all the background, all the extra details, all the
yeah,
world building, etc.
yeah,
This doesn't have that.
yeah. That's. I mean, like when you pretty much take into consideration of starting like a new universe, what have you, and like technically like having like the world having already had some stuff happen and you're introducing audiences in this world where a bunch of stuff had already happened before and this is the starting point that's not exactly unheard of in just fiction in general in terms of storytelling. Take look no further than Star Wars, essentially. Like, I mean, A New Hope kind of happened. Like you're introduced to the world of Star Wars with A New Hope, where a bunch of stuff already happened in the past, but now, so you need to make sure your audience is caught up with, like, essentially, like what is the context of this story that we're jumping in, of this world universe that we're jumping into.
except Star Wars actually did that. Like you didn't need to watch the prequels in order to pretty much understand like what the stakes are in A New Hope, what the world building is like in A New Hope, to be able to have a grasp on it. And it's at least like not so crazy in terms of like variables to take into consideration of world building or what have you, to where you just be like, oh, I can't. It's like I feel like I need to have watched like a bunch of other movies before going into this, except those other movies don't even exist yet. Like
There's some other like Snyder comparisons to make as well. Like in EFAP's Snyder Cut viewing, the meme repository does a very good job of like including lots of details. But one I really quite liked was at the end when Snyder introduces the Martian Manhunter, who is played by the bloke from Man of Steel, which was apparently the original plan. Like he was originally meant to be Martian Manhunter in Man of Steel, but then they just cut it. But then Snyder brings him in, like brings that whole thing back in the Snyder Cut. But then the meme repository just starts saying, "Where were you?" over and over again, and with every repetition, he just shows all of the major events in the DCEU leading up to this point, where the Martian Manhunter would have 100% absolutely have got involved if he gave a shit. But he didn't because he didn't technically exist at that point until Snyder introduced him.
Yeah.
And the same sort of problem exists with Superman 25. It's like if any sequel brings in any heroes now, the big question is going to be, where were you when the planet was splitting in half?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Even if they couldn't actually physically do anything, even if they just turned up, like, I'm trying to think of a superhero, Wonder Woman, Batman, anyone turned up and just went, oh shit, look at this. At least they would have done that.
Yeah. I mean,
A
like,
little bit.
yeah, I mean, maybe, like, at least with Batman, depending on what resources, whatever this universe's version of Batman would have, like, maybe, like, Batman, you can at least kind of understand, like how, like, he pretty much probably would have tried, but probably wouldn't been, there would have been only so much he could have done at that point in terms of closing out the pocket. Well, even that, he pretty much could have just been, like doing something similar to what Mr. Terrific did. So it's not like he would have been entirely useless in that scenario.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's up? Yeah, and to pretty much like bring back around to the whole parent thing, what have you. The introduction of Supergirl at the end alone raises like a whole shit ton of questions on that front. Like, does she know? Like, how much does she know about this?
That is
like,
a good question. It's like,
and that's like, I'm sorry, you can't just
parents.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you can't not just introduce a character like this suddenly at the end of your movie, when you have like who's also a Kryptonian like Superman, and not have the audience beg to and just like leave such a dangling thread of like, does she
And this
like?
This is the problem with Supergirl, because with Superman, he was a baby and he grew up on Earth, hence why he doesn't understand Kryptonian, because he never grew up with Kryptonian, so he has to get translated for him. In the comic books, which this film is drawing a lot from what I hear, I haven't read all the comic books, but whenever people talk about it, they go, yeah, this is all drawing from the comic books. This is why this film is like it is, because it's trying to play to the comic book fans rather than general audiences. Hence why there's so many references to things that people just general audiences don't know about. Supergirl, as far as I'm aware, was at least a teenager when she went into her pod and was sent off. So she wasn't a baby who didn't know anything. She was old enough to know what Krypton was like. What her were there her aunt and uncle? Like this in this, so I can't remember such. I remember Superman calling her cousin. So
Yeah,
whatever relation, they're family. So she would theoretically have some idea of what they're like. So even if it's just his parents who are maniacal maniacs, she would potentially know. At which point you've then got to have the discussion of why the hell did she not tell Superman a Bacalhau about it, which could have
Yeah.
been a very interesting conversation.
Yeah. It would. Yeah.
But based on what I've seen, I don't think they thought about it.
No.
Well, I mean, it's James Gunn who wrote this film in particular. Like, so yeah, he didn't. Yeah, he just didn't think about it. It's like, I mean, like you. I mean, I could understand it. Like, if people want to just be like, oh, I like that to see Supergirl in this just because like fan, what have you. It's like, oh, it's like yay, but like it made me happy. It's like that's fine, but like writing wise, like how does this make any sense? um, and it can't just be like, oh, we'll wait until the next movie does. It's like, okay, what if the next movie doesn't answer that question? Like how many times are we gonna give that, like, just sort of give that get out of jail free card for any subsequent films in the future before we just be like, okay, dude, seriously, answer the question, okay? And what if, or worse, or even what if we do get answers, but they make things even less sense?
Do you know what's really worrying? Snyder had the proper ending for this film. With Man of Steel, they do the
Yeah.
whole thing of, we're going to be watching you, Superman, because you haven't actually done anything bad, but we're going to be watching you because we don't trust you. That's basically the end to this film. Is that the government are like, okay, you saved us from like the planet being split in half, and as far as we can tell, you haven't done anything bad, but we don't trust you, so we're keeping an eye on you. That's the end of this film. That's what the end of this film should have been. The fact that it wasn't is, yeah, it just makes me feel like they
Yeah.
forgot about the message and the significance and the consequences of that message.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like with Man of Steel, like Superman wasn't even like Superman was just introduced to the world in that film, so the government would so even with Superman saving the world, like the government would still at least like have reasons to still be like, it's like, want to keep an eye on this guy, especially considering what happened in Man of Steel. I mean, like, yeah, obviously it's BVS that kind of tries to like bring in the whole question about
Oh God,
interrogation
yeah,
about that.
that's
But
any mention of the message in like the next film. Let's say, like, imagine the next film starts off with, so Superman, you're all good with the government now. It's like, oh yeah, they looked at the message and yeah, they believe me now. If they do that, then it's like, Jesus Christ, they have learned nothing from the Snyderverse. But that's
like,
basically what Snyder did. It's like, oh, Superman absolutely trashed the city and potentially killed hundreds of thousands of people just from what he did, let alone what Zod did. You're like, okay, so the next film, everyone's going to fight in completely empty places, and we're going to make sure that everybody's aware of that. You're like, oh, that's just awful. But that's, if they do, they're gonna have, if they have to address the message in the next film, that's basically gonna be a repeat. So it's either they're screwed either which way. They either don't mention it at all, which point that's just a huge plot point which they haven't addressed,
Yeah.
or they do address it and it's just going to sound like the port's empty. Metropolis isn't really got anyone in it at this point in time.
Yeah, because like I mean, like if Superman would be in that, like Superman would surely have to be at least in this film. Like he's like that in Gunn's film. Like he's kind of established to have been like that sort of, like he kind of is like a bit naive in a sense in terms of like just being like, I just want to
That
do
was a
good for the world ultimately, even though the world's like really
that was a
complex.
weird line
He
in the
should just
film
yeah
when he was having the interview with Lois, which apparently was an actual interview, which I found very weird. She's like, "Yeah, this is all going in the interview." Like, what? But, at which point, she, when he starts getting het up about the interview, and she says, "Oh, there you go. You're getting frustrated with, and you're facing conflict." Well, I can't remember the exact line. I need to watch it again. But it's
yeah
something like, "You're running away from conflict." Like, hang on, what? No, this is Superman. He's supposed to be like he fights like for the rights and whatever. He shouldn't be walking away from things.
yeah
like here's the thing, even if this is like a younger super, like even when we take into account like okay, this is a Superman who's like a couple years in, like he still like has like this bit of naivety to him where he just like he wants to just like do the best he can and just for the sake of good. Like like surely he would like even like how many people like as much as Luther would try to claim like they had like several like experts being able to decipher this alien language and say yes we
Oh
can
God, that was
definitively say
stupid.
that that's what this message is about. Super like even if Superman would just be like would still like Superman, at least this iteration of Superman would have like a bit more skepticism than just like fully accepting like wow damn that's what my parents wanted me to do. In fact, why would he even take that much credence into like half of a message from his alien birth parents that is incomplete over like the years that he pretty much had spent with his adopted Earth parents? Like, why would that's just so even with Superman just being like accepting like what his reconciling his heritage ultimately, like even that doesn't the foundation isn't really all that strong because it doesn't seem like he only has like an incomplete message from his birth parents versus the years that he spent with his Earth parents, and that's the values that he was able to pull from them. Like they were a more significant part of his life, not just in terms of he was raised, but not only was he like grown up with them, with with the Kents, ultimately, but also just the values that were instilled in him as a person, the kind of man that he ends up being is because of the Kents. Like he's gonna like have more like this version of Superman would surely have more stock into them than for his alien parents, who like just based on that message, he barely really knows.
Yeah, the parents, the Earth parents in this story were they were wasted. I mean, not only were they good actors, especially the dad,
Yeah.
but their whole significance was just that it seemed like these should have been, especially with how the film ends with like, oh, let's show the your parents, and it shows all the clips of the parents like playing with him as he was younger. It's like they were clearly a much bigger influence on his life than
Yeah.
this film makes out until like 5 minutes from the end.
Yeah,
And I've just thought of a problem. Sorry, I've just thought of a problem. Lois Lois flies the Mr. Terrific mobile ship thing, whatever that's called,
yeah.
to the Kent's farm, and you're like, oh, okay, so she knows where the Kents are because Clark Kent's dad, the dad, mum and dad is like that's where he lives, and they've been dating for 3 months, wherever it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah,
I
3
don't know what
months.
I don't know what their obsession is with the number three, but yeah, um, they so maybe she's met them and knows where they live. And then when she gets out of the ship, the parents say, "Hi, we're his parents." And on.
you
So she's not met them. So how did she know where to go?
that's interesting. Interesting. Would Clark have even been able to? Would there have been a reason for Clark, in the 3 months to just be like, here? Oh, and just in case, here's my parents' address, street address, if you want to
Just
know.
in case I nearly die.
Just in case I nearly die. Yeah. Yeah. Um. Yeah, and
I just want to point out it has been 2 hours and 13 minutes, and we've spent about an hour talking about Superman instead of the topic of the video.
Well, I mean, as long as we just sort of cut off the Superman talk, before it eclipses the mimic discussion, then
Technically, it almost is. I just want to let you know they're about.
I will
at this
stop right
point.
there. Okay, people, this is the discussion on Guillermo del Toro's Mimic. It's a good movie.
Just want to clear
Mimic
that up.
good.
Mimic decent. It's not terrible, and it is the weakest of his works, but that says a lot.
Yeah. It's a neat little killer insect movie. Tismy at the end, during the end, but it holds up mostly well.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's got some good scenes.
Yeah.
You ain't seen shit like
and
this.
pretty damn
Yeah.
and pretty damn good creature design. Let's just put it.
Leonard
at
is the MVP of the movie, ultimately, character-wise. Everyone else is fine, and that even includes Josh Brolin. But Leonard the cop was pretty cool. I like him.
Yeah.
He's a fun guy.
Also, I have been taking mental notes throughout, so
True.
don't worry.
Oh, nah, that's fine.
Okay. Anyways, we should probably finish this off.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah, no reason to drag this on any longer. Yeah, thank you guys for coming on. Yeah, thanks to Vic and Antonio for the little bits that they were on. Yeah, it's kind of a shame that we weren't able to get any sort of like questions out in terms of like the making of the film from like the guy ultimately, but that's fine. Maybe there will be like another discuss. Maybe he probably worked on something else creature feature related that maybe
if
be able to bring him back.
if not,
bring him on.
I'll probably be able to get the questions out. Like if Vic doesn't show up on the 9th, then I could ask him to send me the answers and questions, and then I can do it for him.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, sounds good. But yeah, thanks guys for coming on here, having this talk about a bug movie, at least for a good section of the stream.
Bug movie, and alien movie.
Yeah, yeah. Well, but anywho, who wants to do
Film about bugs and a film that bugged me.
Well, yeah, a film about bugs and a film that bugged 2 out of the 3 of us.
See, I stand by everything I said about Superman, and I'm fully willing to contest those arguments.
All right. Well.
Denial. Anyway.
Well, don't you worry. That debate's coming soon. It's coming like Warlock.
My question is, when the hell is the Shin debate? We still haven't decided that.
I mean, I guess it would obviously have to be between like Gojin and Kuru.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking about that mentally because I want to be there I want to be there day one, and I also need to get to work on the posters for it. I've already done Kuru's teaser. I need to get to Joey's teaser.
I pretty much would recommend doing I recommend just like getting the poster done before before there's even an announcement of like when the day's coming. Like you don't need to put a date on the poster or anything.
I'm
just
probably
kind of
gonna
like
work on that. I'm probably going to be working on that this weekend.
Because like just in case it just abruptly comes up. Oh shit! Here it comes. Here it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zim, if you're watching this,
sometimes
please,
it does that.
Zim, if you're watching this, please get this shit announced for the love of God.
Yeah, I mean,
oh my goodness.
People tend, busy schedules, what have you, but that's what it is.
Yeah, still, but fair.
But
like, yeah, no. So we're starting shilling, right?
Yep, we're gonna start doing our plugs and shills and recommendations.
So yeah, you obviously know where to find me. I have my YouTube channel. I do live streams there. I have alluded to it before, but I'm going to be doing a live stream on October 9th discussing just Guillermo del Toro and his works and what makes him a good director. Which October 9th is also his birthday, so it's fitting.
Nice.
And I have been starting to get back to work on my Nemesis essay as well as working on a Gamera 60th anniversary project that I plan to release day of. So look out for that in November. I also have Instagram, Kara, Blue Sky. I do stuff there. I post artworks and occasionally say things. So yeah, you can find me there. And go watch Mimic and the rest of Del Toro's movies. They range from decent to masterpieces, like genuinely phenomenal works.
Yeah, nice. And I guess that's it for you.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, all right. Now, my fellow Sea King, you are up.
I am Cianimus on YouTube. I am Cianimus on Twitter. I am Cianimus on Blue Sky. Although I haven't done the face authorization thing, so my stuff is restricted. But yeah, I'm on there anyway. I am currently working on a Superman video, which I have to get out before October 17th. So at the very least, you can expect that to be happening soon. Everything else is kind of up in the air. Even my live streams, I kind of want to do a live stream on that guy who was mentioned the last time. He did 2 videos on me. One of them was going through my shorts, Shin Godzilla shorts. I'm tempted to do a live stream on that tomorrow, but we shall see.
You know who.
No, not
It's
here.
not-
Well, yes, him
It's
who
not
replied to
Mr.
the other guy. I can't
Oh,
remember
It's
the other
not
guy's name.
Mr. Who.
Kiru
It's not the
Dirt or
owl.
something like that.
Kiryu's Way. We've talked about him before on Gojin the Makai Phantom's channel.
ah,
So,
okay.
Yeah,
He's got
it's
like
the,
9
it's the
subscribers or
soundboarder.
something. So
It's the guy with the soundboard.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
okay. But yeah, I'm tempted to do
Yeah,
like
no.
just a stream going through his points and
nowhere
his
near as
points
bad as
forward,
the
but yeah.
guy. Nowhere near as bad as the last guy you talked about.
I mean, yeah.
Right.
But it's literally, to be fair, the guy did some good points. The problem is most of the points he brings up are either already answered in Shattered Diamond or are just bad points. But it's just like, yeah, it's like kind of a shame. It's like, he did well with the video and whatnot, and his some of his arguments are good, but yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, you've got something to look forward to.
Nice.
Yeah. Any updates on the GXK video? My sibling in Christ, it's been a year and a half. Where is it?
I've got things to do. My flat got flooded the other week. I had to sort that out, okay?
Okay, fine. I mean, it's been over a year since I started work on the Nemesis essay, so like, where am I to speak? But fair.
The thing is, it will probably take me like a week to get GXK video sorted. If I had a week, but I don't get a week.
Make a week.
I can't.
1
I'm
week.
too valuable a worker.
1 week.
Well, I mean,
Walk up to your boss and say, I need a week off.
you don't understand Minecraft world. That's like that. That's easier said than done.
When you're quite an important worker and a lot of people rely on you, saying, "Yeah, I'm just going to take a week off," is just not a thing.
I know. I'm just pulling your strings. I'm being hyperbolic for the sake of entertainment. I know.
Yeah.
I know it's not that easy. Believe me. I am significantly less of an important worker than you are, and it was difficult for me. So I know the pain.
Yeah. But
We shall see. But yes, Sea King, what have you got for us?
okay. I guess I'll wrap this up. This has been your host, the Sea Monster. And once again, thanks for coming on, folks, for listening. As far as what I have going on in the pipeline, obviously you follow me or subscribe to me on here at Sea Monster Essays on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter, Sea Monster, KCI, so on and so on. As far as spooky season coming up, this we got October coming up, the greatest time of the year.
Let's go.
Yeah. On the first Friday of that month, October 3rd, is going to be the premiere of my essay video on Nosferatu 2024.
Yay.
That's going to be coming up. It definitely will not be as long as my GXK video. I'm just gonna let you all know, so I don't let anyone down, that it's not 3 hours long. So just want to put that out there.
Disappointed.
But
I'm still waiting on the 24-hour. I'm still waiting on a 12-hour long man about any movie about like, I don't know, anything from one of us.
yeah,
A 12-hour long man about anything from one of us.
Yeah,
Something.
that could happen at some point. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, if I couldn't do it for GXK, I don't know what could. There's probably, I don't know how.
War of the Worlds.
Okay. That one's gonna be real. That one would
Honestly, no. If anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be me. If anyone's gonna do like a 12-hour long net about War of the Worlds, just in general, it's gonna be me.
Oh yeah. Oh, you mean just the
Yes.
IP, not just the
the
greatest
IP
movie of all
the
time
IP of
that
War
came out this year.
Heresy. Peace.
You
of
know I joke.
heresy.
You know I'm messing with you, right?
I know you're messing with me. That heresy
I
that
hope
dropped over the summer.
Oh God, I hope it got. You know what? I hope that the certain website that ends at .org has it somewhere there, like so it's downloadable. Just in case Amazon decides to just purge it, like Disney did that Willow series.
Somebody definitely has it. Somewhere definitely has it. Who? I don't know what. Maybe. But there's definitely
step up,
copies
whoever
out
it
there.
is, in my DMs preferably.
Yeah,
Maybe.
please.
But anyways, as I was saying, I'm still showing. I apologize for sidetracking. But yeah, Nosferatu video coming out on October 3rd. As far as when my next stream will be, which is going to be on the 2025 movie Sinners. I have it tentatively dated for the 4th of October, but that could change depending on some circumstances, because I have like a bit of, I kind of have like a bit of like a celebration of my birthday that weekend, so I don't want to I don't want to I don't want to say anything definitive. Don't be too surprised if I move it until next week. That stream, at some point the following weekend, and there'll be stay tuned for any further updates about any streams or videos that I have coming up in the pipeline. But like a gas pipeline, like that gets blown up by some guy trying to kill a bunch of bugs. but yeah, until then, thank you all for listening, for joining, and we will see you all later. Bye bye.
What